For this Board of Education regular meeting, Tuesday, August 12th, 2025 at 7:01. I have a roll call.
Mrs. Lala? Mr. Bojack?
Here.
Mrs. McPhillips? Here. Mrs. Canfield? Mrs. Theodore? Here. Mr. Berardi?
Here.
Mr. Trabuzio?
Here. We have a quorum. Let's stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fanny, would you read the mission statement?
Sure. The mission of Orange School District 80 is inspiring educational excellence in American learning.
For the success.
Today we're going to turn over to Mr. Bianchi and Dr. Raviola to celebrate our staff.
Yeah, so we are really grateful to have some of our new staff members here with us today. The past, between yesterday and today, we had our new teacher orientation where new staff got to come in and learn a little bit more about the district and about our buildings. So that is something that is really a valuable time to get all those introductions going. And we have a little slideshow that's going up there with some of our new staff members. Not all of them were able to join us this evening, but we do have a few members in the crowd. So if you want to, maybe you can stand up and we can go around and just you can say hello and introduce yourself and just to kick it off. So
I'm Laura Kennedy. I'm going to celebrate school here.
I'm Diane Harrods, and I'm going to be working with Laura as para.
I'm Lindsay Kovas. I'm going to be the interventionist for reading and math at Giles.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Doe. I'm going to be the co-teacher with 8th grade at Giles this year.
Good evening, everybody. Officer Nick Tomaso. I'm going to be the new SRO between Giles and Lee. Looking forward to working with everybody.
Good evening, everybody. I'm the assistant principal here at Lee.
we're really excited to welcome them all to Orange School District 80 and excited for what this year will bring and hopefully many more years here in Norwich. Now we would like for all of our new staff to come on up to take a picture with our Board of Education, please. We'll actually go over next to the screen there.
This is Brenda's favorite time. We want to make sure we always do this.
Grab an extra slice of cake on the way out.
Any more success to celebrate?
In general, we can just celebrate our summer success. We're ready to open the schools. We opened the schools yesterday to staff. We've seen many of our staff come in. We've completed our second day of new teacher orientation today. Anything that you guys have in specifics?
they're probably won't be back on site. They were very happy with everything, so.
The auditors were here last week. So far, preliminary reports, everything went well.
Well, I could say that front hallway looks really good. I'm glad to see it. It's fantastic.
I'd say our buildings and grounds team has been working very hard this summer. There's been quite a bit of work that they've been doing, getting our third grade classrooms ready, some work in one of our special education classrooms, overseeing the various projects, like the paving and the epoxy flooring. It's all a whole lot of work, and we're really grateful for all the time and effort they put in and how the building's really coming out.
Yes. Very well done.
I would just like to add for the maintenance department, again, I echo what Dr. Rabiola said, but at Giles, the big project this year was the cafeteria, and it's really looking great without that stage there. It really opens up that space for our students. So I'm excited about that, so thank you.
Okay. Action item, consider motion to approve the agenda as presented. Can I have a motion? Motion. Renzo? Manny? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. The motion passes. Recognition of visitors. Thank you. Correspondence. Any correspondence?
No?
Public participation? No? FOIA requests, there are two. They're available at the district website as they are published whenever we get them. Administrative reports, Superintendent Mr. Duzenton.
All of my report is on my discussion items tonight.
Okay. Building reports, child school, Mr. Bianchi.
Just would like to add that we're working very hard to get everything open. I will be doing a CPI, a verbal de-escalation training to all of our new staff, all of our paraprofessionals, and a refresher for our returning staff as well. That'll happen on Monday the 18th in preparation for opening the school. Schedules for the middle school will be released on the 18th, which is Monday. And also I'll be sharing a letter to our families as well regarding the opening and start of school at Giles School. And then just finally, the athletics begins right away with cross-country softball for boys and girls. Remind parents to please make sure they have a current physical on file. Without that physical, the student is unable to participate until that is completed. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Lee School, Dr. Rabiola.
So I'll echo much of what Mr. Bianchi had said. We will also be releasing our class assignments through Power School on Monday the 18th. Also, just want to add that we have our back to school supply drop-off curriculum night on the 21st. And we have two sessions. One will be at 5, one at 5:45. We did adjust those times, but we've shared that out a few times since then through Class Dojo and also through School Messenger, because that is also the night that the PTA is doing the Chicago Dogs game. So we wanted to try to make sure we gave families time to participate in both those events. Also, just wanted to share out, because this is some information that was recently shared, that the PTA is planning their back to school bash on September 5th, which is Friday. They're looking from 5 to 7 p.m. So just wanted to make sure you all are aware of that. So you can join us. It's really a fun event. But otherwise, just getting the buildings ready, getting everything in order, and we're ready to welcome all the students back.
Very good, thank you. Board committees. Education, nothing to report. We'll be inserting that into the meeting anyway, but we're going to address that. Board policy development. There was a meeting a month and a half ago. We are meeting again this coming Tuesday, the 19th. Building and grounds, there will be a meeting in October.
October. We should have the full facilities plan back from Wold, either right before that meeting or the end of September.
Behavioral intervention, nothing to report. That, like education, will be inserted in this regular meeting to address it. Negotiations and human resources, we will discuss in closed session. Finance.
Mrs. DeVore is going to lead you through a discussion of finance tonight, and there you do have a handout as well at your places.
So the handout we have our little sheet of terms at the beginning, and then a couple of sheets that are included in the presentation. So I'll go through them up here, but you also get them for you. So we're going to talk about the unaudited results of operations. Even though the auditors were here last week, until they give us the AFR, which we usually don't get until December, all of our numbers or results are considered unaudited until we get the numbers from the AFR. We're going to talk about our summary of reserves. We're going to go over the assumptions that the budget is based on, the grants, then we're going to go over the budget summary, and we're going to go over the next steps. So before we talk about what we're going to do next year, we should talk about how the year ended. When you look at this first sheet that you guys have a copy, it goes over basically the budget. It's just how we did last year. So the first row on it is our fund balance as of July 1st, 2024. So the first day of last school year. How much money do we have in each of the funds? So remember, all of these are individual buckets that we can only spend certain things out of. For instance, debt service, we can only pay the bond out of that, or our Conoco lease. Transportation, we can only pay for transportation. So each of these are their own little buckets, except in the middle you see total operating funds. And that's the total of education, operations and maintenance, transportation, and working cash. So if you look across the top, it tells you what our fund balances were at the beginning of last year. Then it goes over the revenues. How much money did we take in each of those individual funds? And then it goes over expenditures. How much do we spend out of each of those funds? Every fund is going to have an expenditure except for working cash. Because working cash is just truly our savings account. We don't spend money out of there. That's where our money goes to save. So for instance, I don't think anyone here has received tax bills yet. So if you don't have a tax bill, that means the taxes can't be due August 1st. So if we don't have taxes, we don't have 85% of our income. So what do we do when the tax bills are late? We have to do a resolution, which is, it's a fancy word for, like a formal memo, but it's a resolution to borrow money to ourselves. So if any of our funds get too low because we're not getting the taxes in, we will do a resolution to borrow money from working cash to whatever fund we need. But that will only happen if the tax bills don't come in on time, which they won't, because it won't be August, but we have a couple of months, so we should be okay for a while. But then after you look at revenues and expenditures, you see an excess of revenue over expenditure. So at the end of the day, in each fund, did we spend more money than we took in, or did we take in more money than we spent? So did we save money, or did we deficit spend? So in all of the funds, except for 3, we saved money. Transportation is another fund that we have to kind of watch lately. What's been happening with transportation is our costs for transportation are going up, but the amount of money that we're receiving from the state is going down. Because it's the majority of money we get in transportation comes from our state claim that we do every year. The state is supposed to fund it at 80%. The past year, we got about 75% back. This year, we're projected to get about 64% back. And when I say 80%, it's 80% of 80%. We can't claim 100%. We can only claim 80%. So the state is supposed to give us 80 of 80, but last year we got 70 something of 80, and this year we're gonna get like 63 of 80. So we're getting less money from the state, but we're spending more money. So when we spend more money, that's when we're getting the deficit. So what we have to do is a couple different things. We have to watch it. We may have to change our levy this year to put a little bit more money into transportation, which is okay. We'll be okay. Then the following line after that is transfers. We didn't do any transfers last year, so there should be nothing there. And then there's bond proceeds. We didn't get any new bonds, so there's nothing there. So at the end of the day, you look at where we ended up. What was our fund balances on June 30th? We did well. We did better than we expected to, which we're grateful for because we have instances like the tax bill's not coming in and we need money to be able to pay the bills. But we ended in a good place. So our total operating funds, we ended at about 7.5 million, which is good. The next sheet here is just a summary of our fund balances and our reserves. So this is just a clearer version of what I showed you on that last page, the bottom line. It's lined out right here. If you look in your packets, the sheet right after that is a fund balance report. For the past couple of months, in the board packet each month, I'm putting in the fund balance report. So you can see where we are at monthly. This is where we were at June 30th. I think the fund balance report you have is as of July 31st. So it's good to know where we're at. It's good to know how the fund balances are changing. And if you guys have the report every month, then you have an idea all year of where we are, if we're on target. And if we need to borrow, you'll be able to see that and you'll see where we need to go. Does anybody have any questions on any of the reserves? So when we create the budget, we have to first look at assumptions. Because our budget is the best guess of how much money we're going to spend and how much money we're going to take in next year. At any given time, that could change. So it's our best guess, but it is an educated guess because there are certain things that we do know. So some of the things in this budget include some of our personnel and contract staff changes. We added a bilingual Spanish teacher. We have 3 additional preschool for all paraprofessionals, which are all funded by the grant. We have 2 additional interventionists for our funded by Title I. So both of these are grant funded. We also have an additional social worker, which is also grant funded. We've talked, whatever numbers we've done over negotiations based on our last close agreement with the union, that's the numbers we're using. And for contract positions, there are some roles we have that we have to have for certain student needs that we have in there. We also had last year our psychologist was a contract position, and now this year they're a salary position. So we make those adjustments. For property taxes, we know that this year is going to be 3.4 for CPI, next year is 2.9, and the future is actually projected to go down. Tax bill. EDF, we estimated it to increase by about 2%, which it normally does. We just got the numbers last week. It was about 2%. I budgeted about $50 off, but it actually was, so.
It's actually pretty impressive. She did a good job with that.
Yeah. For grants, we're going to continue to spend accordingly, and we're going to plan for the future. Our federal grants, I know what we have this year. I don't know what we have next year. We're going to hope for the best and hope that things continue to go that way, but we're going to plan for if they won't, and we'll look for alternative revenue streams as we always do. For facility projects, we're very excited to be working with Wold. We're going to continue to look for additional revenue sources. And one thing you're going to see in the budget is last year we didn't have to do a transfer, but next year we are going to do a transfer, which is something we have done in the past. It will be to fund a specific capital project that once we have the facilities project project, and when we do the resolution to move the money, we will list out that specific project. We're done with our work at Lee, so I can only imagine where that one specific project would be. There's nothing left to repair, I would think it would be Giles. But we don't have a facility project yet, that's what I would imagine. So our grants that we do have this year is Preschool for All, the Computer Science Equity Grant, the Literacy Grant, the State Maintenance Grant, the Giles Infrastructure. The State Maintenance Grant helps support all of the new beautiful paving that you've seen outside, the seal coating, school-based mental health, that's the one where we got the new social worker this year, that's actually funding 2 social workers for us. We do have IDEA, and then we still have Title 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Just jump in here, I had shared with the board that we received additional funds from the county, from the state. That'll probably take a good year for that to hit, so that's why that's not mentioned here. We still have the Giles Infrastructure Grant that we're working on right now. This is gonna be a grant kind of like that through our senator's office, but it's probably gonna take us a good 8 or 9 months to even get the paperwork, then to get the grant approved, is gonna probably take a good year and a half. So that's why you don't see it here.
Yeah. Okay, so our tentative budget. So this is our best guess at this time. When you look at it, these are our fund balances. This line should match the line on the last one with the ending line, which is reserves. These are what we expect our revenues to be based on what we expect the taxes to be, based on all of those grants, based on the fees, based on what we know. Expenditures, this is what we're expected to spend next year. A little bit more than we have in the past, but we're okay. Excess of revenue over expenditure. There is more revenue than normal, and I know that. So we are expected to deficit spend in multiple funds. I will say, I usually bring you something like this, and we usually end up where we were. So even if we spend every single dollar, and we do deficit spend all of this, with the transfer, our ending fund balances and our operating funds will still be well above the board policy of 33%. We'll still be well above that. Even if we were to spend all of it, we're still fine. With the transfer from O&M to capital projects, we still will be ending in an okay space. We hope CPPRT goes up more, so we continue to do some great projects at Giles. In 90, which is fire prevention and safety, we're expecting to spend more next year. That's because we finally have mold in place. Once we get the facility project back, we'll be able to work on some of the items on our life safety project. So we'll be able to move forward with that, which will ultimately help the buildings. And transportation is one that we have to watch. So from now until September 16th, we'll continue to monitor the budget and change it as needed. Because like I said, it's our best guess, so anything that we find out this month, that might change it. Then on September 16th, we'll have the budget hearing, and we'll also go over Public Act 102-895 and 103-0394. Both of those have to do with fund balances. So even though we spoke about fund balances tonight, we'll get a little bit deeper into that next time. And then we'll hopefully approve the budget. In October, we'll go over the facilities plan. In November, we'll go over the tentative levy. And in December, we'll go over the final levy. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nothing to report, but,
Have requested a meeting.
yeah.
Are we all set with, soccer?
I believe we are, but I have requested a formal meeting to
Oh, okay.
hear that, but I believe we are. Yes, and in fact, Mr. Biecki has communicated that with our group, right, with Elnick. So, I think, Nate's on vacation right now, so I'm sure,
Gotcha.
and he knows we need to be.
Moving on to discussion items.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to go through a couple things that were mentioned, a little bit already by Dr. Rabiola, but just so you know what's been going on too. We welcome you officially to the 25-26 school year. This is our first official meeting since we did not meet in July, so thank you very much for working with us. We've had two kind of robust Teacher Institute days, yesterday and today. Yesterday was morning of working on district level things, the afternoon working with principals. Today we did a few things together before they went off and worked with their mentors. Thursday this week we have a hold on. Yep, there I am. Now I'm matching. Thursday we have a meeting with special education staff with Mr. Masters, going over IEPs and how to write goals, and then as Mr. Biecki mentioned, we have crisis prevention intervention going on the 18th. So we've been really busy this week, welcoming our new staff members. There are 12 new staff members of teachers and 3 paraprofessionals. So looking back at our welcome to the beginning of the year, we officially welcome the teachers back on the 21st and 22nd for 2 Teacher Institute days. Those are packed agenda days, with lots of things going on. The 25th is our first day for 1st through 8th grade. It's a half day that day. That's also a preschool screening day. So if anyone has any preschoolers that have not gotten in for a screening appointment, I think we have 2 appointments left that day. So contact us if that is the case. Preschoolers do need to go through preschool screening before they can join the program. Then the 27th is our first day of preschool. The 26th is their open house for families to come in. And then on the 29th is the first day of kindergarten. Kindergarten has a little slow start. I do want to thank Chick-fil-A for their donation for breakfast for our staff on August 21st. Andrea contacted them to get some quotes on different items to bring in for breakfast, and they gave it to us for free. So really very nice support for the school from them. Our back to school events on the 21st at Lee's Curriculum Night, supply drop off, meet your teacher, kind of a hodgepodge of many things. As Dr. Rabiola said, there's a 5 and a 5:45 session for the curriculum night part. Preschool open house is the 26th. Kindergarten orientation is the 27th. The 4th is Giles Curriculum Night of September, and then as Dr. Rabiola mentioned, September 5th is the back to school PTA event, which is held here at Lee. And I know you've been waiting for it, the first NSF bingo night, September 19th. Actually we were at National Night Out last week, which was a really nice event. And I had several people come up to me and ask me when bingo started. So, yeah. I think it's the caller, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. We do still have many families who have not completed registration or residency. So families, if you are hearing me talk about that, please get that finished, because students cannot attend school until residency and registration have been completed. So we still have many families that we are reaching out to. Tammy is calling and calling and calling. You must complete those. If you're not sure, go on your Power School account, look up your forms. They should say accepted. If they don't say accepted, or they don't say approved, then something's wrong. That's the same thing, by the way, as Dr. Rabiola and Mr. Biecki mentioned on checking Power School on the 18th. That is the same system you go into register. Go into Power School. I sent out a communication to our families last night, got several emails today, people saying, I don't know how to get into Power School. It's the same system you go and register. It's all in Power School.
Is registration any better this year, given that it started last year?
Yes.
So So
Absolutely.
that-
And I'll have numbers for you next month. The curriculum fees, much smoother and much better the way we did them. Yep. We do have less people that still owe money in curriculum fees right now, so which is great. And as a reminder, band fees have to be paid before band starts, and kindergarten or preschool, if there are preschoolers paying tuition, they have until the end of December. Okay, a couple of district business. We had some safety meetings with the Norwich Police Department, and we talked about our safety drills. We talked about aligning our safety terminology, which I'll talk about a little bit on our next page, with the I Love You Guys Foundation, which is what we are using with Knoyer, Union Ridge, and Ridgewood in our reunification training. That's probably something I'll talk more and more about as we go through the year. Remember, reunification date in District 80 in Norwich is September of 26, where we're gonna do a full village shutdown. That is actually going to be an event at Giles, where we will reunify at Ridgewood. Because you can walk right down the street. In traffic, Officer Tomaso is going to assist with traffic issues. Just that first week, we are going to have a couple of additional officers who will assist with traffic that first week. We really found that helped last year. Kind of helped parents to understand where to go, where to park. We ask, as we always do, for our parents to be very respectful of the community members that live here, not to block driveways, not to throw garbage out, things like that. Dr. Rabiola's email to the parents next week will have the traffic information and the parking information and the drop-off lines. Here are the standard protocol responses that I mentioned to you earlier that we're going to be using starting this year. So a hold is when you would hold the students in the classroom or in the area and clear the halls. So we might do a hold for many reasons. We might do a hold if there is an emergency equipment needed. Maybe a student or a staff member needs an ambulance to come in. We might hold everybody in their classrooms, keep the hallways clear so that emergency personnel can come and work with whatever is happening. Secure is where everyone that is outside would get inside, and then we lock the outside doors are all locked. But we would just keep everybody from outside from coming in. So if a parent came to pick up somebody during a secure time, they wouldn't be able to do that. We would keep the doors secure and keep everything locked. A lockdown is pretty much the traditional what you think of. The doors are all locked, the lights are off, everyone is out of sight during the lockdown. So that's what we used to call a hard lockdown, is our old technology. Evacuate would be if there is an announcement to leave the building or to leave the area that people are in. That could be done building-wide, could be area-wide, depending on what's going on. And then shelter is used to announce a hazard or a strategy. For example, if there was a tornado, we might have everyone shelter inside until it's safe to go outside. So get into tornado emergency positions and then keep everyone inside during that time. We're going to talk more about this as the year goes on, but I wanted to at least introduce these words to you today so that when you hear me talking about them, and I'll remind you what they are, that this will be our standard response protocol. And this is standard now throughout Norwich, Howard Heights, Schiller Park, so that we're all kind of using the same words and have the same. We are working with Franklin Park as well right now. A couple of policy updates. As Frank mentioned, the policy committee met. Gosh, I think it was in June maybe when they met, or maybe July. And we looked through policy update 118. So we did agree to approve those policies as presented. There were a couple of things that we had to answer questions on, but most of that was like who's your non-discrimination coordinator, things like that, which we've answered. So we are recommending tonight that the board approve these policies. Nothing in there was different than what was recommended to us from the rest. We do have 119 we need to look at on the 19th, I believe is our meeting. And we're going to start to look at the 600s if we take it. Policy committees. So last time we met, which was in June of last year, we had discussed that we don't really have the Behavior Interventions Committee meet or the Parent Teacher Advisory Committee meet. So we thought maybe we could take those off. However, I did find out that legally we do need to have both of those on our policy, on committees for both of them. So I just wanted to follow up on you and can't remove those two. So a couple pictures on some summer work. Now I haven't sent you pictures yet because the areas aren't cleaned up yet. Yeah. So this is the area of the stage. As you can see, they just were finishing putting in the 3 area sink, which is required. This is all a epoxy floor in that area, but they haven't finished the coat base yet. They haven't finished that whole area. The stairs going up to that door, which was once up above on the stage, and they did remove that old backstop at the back of Giles. So that is over. So I think I'm gonna need like a little more time to give you good pictures. Same thing with some of the work here. So summer work at Lee, the entrance at Lee, which you all saw coming in. It looks fabulous. Dr. Rabiot designed everything going on there, and it looks really nice. And that the John B. Lee poster just went up, it's just up today. It looks great. So thank you for doing that. I think that's so important to remember our history and remember why our school is named after Mr. Lee. The art room over there is new cabinets. So if you remember, these were like those old yellow cabinets. So they have new bright cabinets. Miss Muscarella would kill me if she knew I put that in the presentation tonight because she's still unpacking. So, oh yeah, she is. So once she gets that all organized, that'll look really nice. But she's still just unpacking everything right now. As Dr. Rabiola mentioned, we worked in some of our self-contained classrooms. That area, the picture of the left, used to be the area in 121, used to be 121, where there were the mirrors, because when they had home ec in there, and they did the sewing, and people would sew things, they used to go do a little fashion show in the 3 mirrors. So that whole area, the sink that was in there, that was a violation. All of that has been cleaned out and mitigated, and it's got a lovely little section in there right now in one of our self-contained rooms. The picture on the right is one of our 3rd grade classrooms. So that's some of the furniture that is up in one of our 3rd grade classrooms. These are hard pictures to take again because there's stuff everywhere. So as soon as I can get a room settled out, I'll send that to you too. In our offices, that one on the left is the quad, which is one of our office rooms that has our OT, our psychologist, and our SLPs all in that same room. They like to call it the quad because they're all in there and they have a lot of fun. So they have desks now, and then they have, as you can see, those kidney-shaped tables, those round tables. And then the picture on the right is the kindergarten hallway facing down the kindergarten. So that's brand new and shiny and pretty and sparkly. And that's it. The other thing I should have had pictures of today, and I apologize I didn't, when I took it, is the new Century Pack. So when you leave here and go to closed session, if you look on the left, we have a brand new Century Pack in there that was donated by NSF. So we have to take some pictures and thank them as well. We haven't done that yet. They've also donated some picnic tables at Lee, which we need to thank them for as well. So I know this might not look like it was a busy summer, but it was a busy summer. I think there's a lot more. So the B&G, I echo what you both said about them. They've done a really great job.
Big thank you to the B&G.
And that's my report.
Okay. Thank you. Consent agenda, I need a motion to approve 14A through 14J. I have a motion. Rita, Fanny, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. The motion passes. Action item 15A, consider approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the Norwich Police Department for the services of a school resource officer for the 25-26 school year. And 15B, consider approval of the tentative financial year 26 North School District B budget.
Voting on this.
Okay, voting on, can I get a motion for 15A?
Motion.
Renzo?
Second.
Jim? Let's take a roll call.
Mr. Berardi,
Yes.
Mr. Kolchak,
Yes.
Mrs. Lala,
Yes.
Mrs. McPhillips,
Yes.
Mrs. Theodore,
Yes.
Mr. Trabuzio.
Yes, motion passes. Can I get a motion for 15B, the approval of the budget? Fanny, Maria, roll call on this?
Just to clarify, that's the tentative FY26
Yes,
budget,
sorry.
not the final approval of the budget.
Mrs. Theodore,
Yes.
Mrs. Lala,
Yes.
Mr. Kolchak,
Yes.
Mrs. McPhillips,
Yes.
Mr. Berardi,
Yes.
Mr. Trabuzio.
Yes, motion passes. On to board comments. Any comments to discuss? Anything anyone wants to bring up? No, we haven't already. No? Okay. Consider a motion to adjourn to a closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary, schedules for one or more classes of employees, student disciplinary cases, and review of closed session minutes. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Renzo? Fanny? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion passes. We will go into closed session at 7:55. We are now back in open session at 10:02 p.m. Move on to 18A, action item. Consider approval of compensation increases for building and grounds employees, administrative assistants, building nurses, and district paraprofessionals for the 25-26 school year. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Amanda, Fanny, roll call please.
Mrs. McPhillips,
Yes.
Mrs. Theodore,
Yes.
Mrs. Lala,
Yes.
Mr. Kolchak,
Yes.
Mr. Berardi,
Yes.
Mr. Trabuzio.
Yes, the motion passes. 19A personnel action items, 19A through C3. Can I get a motion? Maria,
Second.
Jim, roll call please.
Mrs. Lala,
Yes.
Mr. Kolchak,
Yes.
Mrs. McPhillips,
Yes.
Mrs. Theodore,
Yes.
Mr. Berardi,
Yes.
Mr. Trabuzio.
Yes, the motion passes. I need a motion to adjourn this meeting at 10:04. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Meeting is now adjourned.